I welcome you all to a skirt sewing workshop. It's a mental resilience workshop and is sponsored by Arnold Clark Community Fund. So this event today is sponsored for us to run this workshop for a month. We started last 2 weeks. The first week we did, we talked about measurement, we talked about how to cut a simple blouse. And last week we actually made a blouse or a top, an easy way. So today we'll be doing, we'll be sewing a skirt. So we'll learn how to cut the skirts to sewing the skirts. I will be facilitating the workshop today, which I'm excited about. And for those that don't know me, I'm Irene Eribo. I'm the CEO and founder of Ebony Ambassador UK. And we've been doing a lot through the pandemic till now in terms of empowering people through skills and keeping people engaged during the pandemic. So today is another day that I've looked forward to and it's come. So we'll be doing how to sew a skirt. So for those that have joined, I know a few of us are here for the practical. And for those that will be watching this later, you can also watch the video and follow the steps. And I will go straight to what we're here to do today, and there's no need for us to waste time. I've got my fabric. And I know everyone has got any material that they want to use, fabric like mine, maybe not mine, it could be Ankara, it could be chiffon, it could be any material that you feel comfortable that you want to use. I'm doing this because I want to also put it on for people to see what I've done, and I choose these beautiful colors. I've got a lot of Ankara, but I choose this one. So for the purpose of this event, I am using 2 yards. So you can choose to use 1.5. You could choose to use 1 yard, depending on how you want it to look like, how you want the printing or the gather to look like. The longer your material, the more gather you will have at the end of what we are sewing. So as I said, if you haven't cut your material off, if you are a child and you are in this Zoom, you could use 1 yard is fine. And you could use 1.5 is also fine, but it just gives you more gather when you finish the skirts. So if your material is small, it's fine. You can still do with your material. So if you've got yours, I've cut mine out already. So as I said, I've got 2 yards. I'm using 2 yards. So the first thing that we'll do in order for us to get our skirts is for us. So you either choose where you want it to be your waist. So I'm choosing here, the top, to be my waist. And I don't know if everyone has got elastic that we're going to use for the waist, but if you haven't got elastic, you need to cut a piece of your material. So it could be like the very top of your material. You need to cut a piece off, like a straight piece off. It could be like half a yard. It's just like to have a rope of your material. So if you don't have elastic, you can do with a rope. But if you have elastic, just keep it aside. We'll use that later. So the first thing to do is to fold your material at the top.
Sorry, Irene. One question.
Okay.
What's the measurement of a yard? How long is a yard?
I said I'm using 2 yards. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can choose to use 2 yards as well, or 1.5 or 3. The longer your material, the more gather you will have when you're done with the skirts.
The wider.
I understand. I'm asking if I'm using a tape rule to measure the yard, what is it?
Yeah, I said measure 2 yards. A yard is for a tape measurement. A yard is 36.
Oh, that's what I need. That's what I need to know. Thank you.
Yeah.
36 inches.
Yes, inches.
Centimeter. 36 inches.
Yes, the bigger side of the.
Thank you. That's what I need to know. Thank you.
Okay, cool. So let me wait for those that want to measure. You're measuring 2 yards or 1.5, depending on your material and how you want the gather to look like. So like when the width, that's the top of the material. If it's very long Once you're done, you have more gathered like what I'm showing you. Your skirt come very full like this, depending on how wide your material is. As I said, I'm using 2. So at the end of it, you're going to see how mine is going to look like. But if you have smaller material, it's fine. You can still do with it. It's just that your gather might not be as much as mine. So the first thing we want to do is to sew the waist. So the waist is the first thing we're going to do. And in sewing the waist, this is my material. We need to fold our material in like this. Just the end, you could see the end of my material. It's like this. And I'm folding the top like this because I want to sew it. So the wider you're sewing in, it gives you space for the elastic to go in. So we're putting this down like this. And please know that your material, you have the front and the back. So the front is the shiny bit of your material. So now what we are folding in, we are folding it to the inside. That's not the front of your material, because if you sew it on the front, your lines will be showing. So you're putting it inside like this. So for me, let me see which way is my front. Okay. Sorry. So as I said, here is my back. So I'm folding to the back of the material. So I'm folding like this. So as I fold, I want to sew down. I will sew here. What I fold in, I need to sew here, going down till the end. So please, let's sew. The space you give to the material gives you the opportunity for you to put your elastic in, or your rope. Some of us have got elastic and some will be using rope for the waist. So all we do now is to tack. I don't know, for those that are doing the practical, if you're not clear, please just unmute yourself and ask me a question. So I'm going to sew now where I want the elastic to go in. And for the stitches, for those that are not here with us, I know you can do the basic stitch. Sorry. You don't need to sew it very close to it. You could give it a bit of gap, because even while we pull the rope or the elastic together, that might not be obvious that you're using either a wide stitch or the very close stitch. So let's quickly run through the waist. As I said, it depends on how long your material is. It might take a while for you to do all the folds. You see, I'm folding mine in, and I made it a bit wider because my elastic is a bit wide. I'll show you my elastic quickly. I'm using this elastic. You can see it's a bit wide. So if you don't have elastic, it's fine. You could do with rope. So
sorry, can you show us the part you're stitching? You folded it from the shiny side inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you folding to the wrong side or the right side? So we need to know.
Yeah, that's what I need to know. That's why
that's what I'm asking.
No,
yeah.
I'm folding to the rough side.
Hmm?
Do you get it, Auntie?
No, I don't. Wait, let me not confuse what I'm trying to say. The side that has to be out, are you folding to that side, or the side that has to be inside when we're the skirt?
The one that has to be inside is where I'm folding.
Okay, folding.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Okay,
So,
yeah, I get it now.
For those that just joined us, I don't know if you want to be part of the practical, or you just want to watch and do yours later. Wumi, please, can you respond to that? Do you want to join? Because we're just starting, so I could run through what we have done now.
Yeah, it would be nice if you could just run through it. Well, I'll probably just watch and do mine later.
Okay, cool. That's fine then. What I'm saying
Thank
it is
you.
that even for the video, we're recording it, so you could still catch up if you really want to do yours later. If it's not, you're not joining the practical now.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining Abby and Farm, and thanks to everyone that have joined. Afi, thanks for joining. A quick run through again. We are doing the waist at the moment. So I said the waist, this is my material. So the waist, for us to do the waist, we need to fold the waist in like half an inch. Depending on the elastic you want to use, you fold it in like this. And you're folding it to the rough side of your material. So in our material, we have the front, which is the shiny bit, and we have the back. So what you're folding in like this, you're folding it to the rough side of your material. So as we fold in, we need to sew the very end. I need to sew the very end so that I have hole for the elastic or the rope to go in. So I'll be sewing this quickly because I'm using 2 yards. So the space I left is quite, where I'm going to sew is quite much because my material is long. So let's quickly run through sewing the waist for the elastic or the rope to go in for your waist. This is quite simple and quick. You'll be surprised what we can do within the short period of time. I will run through mine. If you have machine, it's fine. You can run through the machine, but I just want you to know that you can do a lot with your hand as well. So it's not about the machine. So no excuse for those that don't have machine and say, oh, I can't sew because I don't have machine. So if you have machine, it's fine. If you don't have machine, it's fine as well. So I'm quickly running through the waist. I'll show you what I'm doing. I folded the top a bit to the rough side of my material. So I'm actually sewing down the very tip or the very end of that material that I folded in. I would have used the color thread so that it would be seen. So we need to do this quickly, as quick as we can. My material is quite long, so it might take me a while, but I will make the stitches. I'll give a lot of gap in the stitches. I've got machine, I can run through my machine later, but I just want everybody to see the end result of what we can do as well with our hands. So for those that are still here or joining us, we are sewing a simple skirt. And at the moment, we're doing the waist of the skirt. So for the waist, you just need to fold. Please mute yourself. Thank you. Thank you, Rosalind, for joining us. As I was saying earlier, we're making an easy sketch today. And this event is sponsored by Arnold Clark Community Fund. It's for us to run a mental resilience workshop for a month. We started 2 weeks ago, and we started with learning how to measure. We learned how to measure a skirt, a top, an easy wear. And last week we made the easy wear. So we made a simple top last week, which I will show the picture later. And today we are doing a skirt. We're sewing a skirt. It's also an easy skirt. So at the moment we're doing the waist of the skirt, which is just folding the waist where the elastic will go through. So that's what we're doing. So I folded, I'm left with these bits. So this is folded. So I'm just sewing the very edge so that I have a hole for my elastic to go through. So that's the stage that we are at the moment. I'm running through my waist. I will be done in a minute. And I guess for those that are doing the practical are doing the same as well.
All right, Rena, I was going to ask, is it possible for us to see what you're doing with your needle and thread and the clothes?
Okay, yeah, it's possible. Okay. Okay, this is where I've just folded in. So this is actually a 2-yard material. That's for the skirt. That's 2 yards.
No, I mean the sewing with the needle and the thread in the clothes. Just
Okay,
for
cool.
people who haven't done it before.
Okay, cool. So that means I might use another thread so that it will be obvious on this material, because this is dark and the material that I'm sewing down is dark. But at least we all got it from the folding the top that I said, right? The folding the top, like what I folded, folded in. Okay, cool.
Yes.
I folded to the back of the material, so folded in. So I've already started sewing. I'm left with these bits, so I'm still going to fold like this. So what we do in terms of the sewing is just put in the needle. It comes out from the other side, and you put it back again. It comes out from the other side. So that's the stitches, the basic stitch that we're using. I will do same till I get to the very end of the material. I will change the thread so that the needle,
running
stitches. So that's the stitch that we're using. And if you're not clear with the stitches, if you just go to YouTube as well, just put running stitches, it will show you how the stitches to use to get the effect that we are trying to get at the moment. So it's just to sew through till the end. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing at the moment. So I'm almost there to the end. So I'm actually done with my waist at the moment. So I want to tie my thread. So I'm actually done with the waist. So I've sewn the waist. You can see it as I draw it closer. So this is what I did. I did a running stitch. So the space might be wide, but because, as I said, I can run mine with machine later. But if you know you don't have machine to run yours later, you can make your stitches very close. So don't give much gap. So that's it about my waist. I've sewn my waist now. So the next thing we need to do is to fold your material into two, like this. So I folded my material into two. Don't know if everyone can see me. So you could see the place that I've sewn is still out. It's out. So I folded it. Now we have the rough end of our material. So I folded it into two. So what I want to do now is to sew the side that is open. You see that I folded my material into two and this side is open. So this needs to be closed. I'll close again. So I folded my material into two to the back. I don't know if everybody is here. After folding my material into two, you remember when?
Yes, can I just ask Sister Irene before you go too far?
Okay.
So you know that we have the front of the material and the back of the material.
Yeah.
So this is the front of our material.
Yeah.
This is the back now where we've been sewing.
Yeah.
So do we fold back to back to touch each other or front to front? What do
front
we?
Front to front.
So we fold front to front to do the running stitches again.
Yeah, to do it.
Back to back.
Right sides together.
The right side, you fold them together.
So just to make sure I'm clear, so this is the front of my material. I'm folding it this way so that the front and the front is showing on both sides, or the back and the back, so that when I run my stitch is on the negative side, not the positive side.
Yes,
back.
but no, but you are folding, no, when they fold here, you are folding front to be inside, because we want to sew the back.
So the front is inside. That's what I needed to clarify.
Yeah, because
okay,
when we do so, we will not turn it out.
Thank you. That's what, because I was thinking when you said it that we will fold it and then we will see the thread on the right side. Okay, no problem. Yes, thank you.
No, we are folding front to front inside. So it's the back that's out. We're going to do the at the back.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you.
The only thing that I want us to look into now is that don't start your sewing right from the waist. You know, I don't know if you can see me. This is the beginning of my material. That's the waist. Yeah. I want to start sewing. I will not start immediately from the top because I want to leave a space where my elastic can go through. I hope we're clear with that. So I'm going to start from.
Yes, you are. Thank you.
Yeah. So you don't start from the very end of your material. You leave space. That's your waist space. And you start sewing going down to the end of the material. So we need to be fast about that as well. So we need to sew down and leave the space that I said we should leave on top so that our elastic or rope can go through. So now I want to run through quickly, sewing going down from the waist, but don't start from the very top of the waist. And you see how quick we'll finish this meeting. And for those that are here that don't understand what we're doing at the moment, maybe because you just joined, it's being recorded. So I'm going to send the video or the recorded clip to you so you could watch it again and do yours. I tell you, yeah, I've done something similar for a program on Ben TV. I did this within 10 minutes. So that's to tell you how simple it is. But you might not know that it's this simple. So as I'm talking, I'm sewing down to the very end of this material. We'll get to the very, very end. I started from the top, but I didn't start from the top because I want to leave some few space for me to put my elastic through. So I'm quickly sewing down. Let me stand up so you can see me. In, out. Just sewing down until I get to the end. I'm almost at the end of mine as well, sewing down from the top to the down. Those two open side of your material needs to be closed. So I will stop somewhere here because my thread is off. Okay. So I'm done sewing mine from the top to the end of my skirts. So we've got everything closed. So you can see that everything from, let me make my 1 minute. Okay. So I don't know if everybody can see. I've now sewn mine. So I've got something like this. Now I want to put in the elastic. So we're still working on the back of the material. So we haven't still torn the material yet. And this is the gap that I said we should leave at the beginning when sewing, because I want to be able to have a hole or a space to put in my elastic. So I will be using, sorry. So I've got my elastic. My waist is 34 thereabouts, but I could do it a bit small because it's elastic, so it can fit even if it's not exactly my waist size. So I would do something like this. So this is my elastic. Hello, Abby and fam, and hello everyone. Thanks, Josephine, for joining. I appreciate. 1 minute. So I've got my elastic. So for me to put my elastic through, I'll be using a safety pin. So this is my safety pin. So I'm going to use the safety pin, and this is also applicable if you want to use a rope, not elastic. So I've got my safety pin. I'm going to put my safety pin through here and pin it. So I've got something like this. So I'm going to put it through the hole that I left at the beginning when I was sewing the skirt from the top. I left a space for me to be able to put this through for my waist. So I'll be putting this through now. And if you don't have elastic, you can use rope as well for your waist. So I'm putting this through now, going down. And I'm going to do that till I'm able to bring the needle out of the other end. And if you've got pin, you can as well pin the very tip to the beginning of your material so that it doesn't pull out when you're pulling it out as well. So I'm going to pin the elastic somewhere close to where I started from. That's the very edge of that elastic. So I'm going through the waist till I get the needle out, the safety pin that I'm using to put the rope or the elastic in, but I'm using elastic. As I said, if you don't have elastic, you can do with rope. So we need to do that quickly. And for those that are using rope, you can make the rope long. Even when you tie the rope, tie it on your waist, you can put the rope into the skirts. So you don't need to cut the rope and the rope looks too short. So that once you want to pull off the skirt, you can just undo the rope that you have tied. So don't make the rope small. So I'm almost passing through, putting my elastic through the waist to the other end. So I've just done that now. See this is out on the other end. And I can now take the pin off. So I don't know if anyone is at the same pace with me or where I am at the moment. So this is my skirt. So the elastic that I cut is a bit long. You could either tie the elastic, tie it very tight, then cut the bit off for the elastic. But for the thread, you could still leave your rope on. Then later, once you want to remove the skirt, you can undo what you have tied. So for the elastic, I can choose to cut it off because I've actually got my waist. So after we've done this, we can now turn because we've been working on the rough side of the cloth, or some people will say the back. Now I'm turning it to the right side of the cloth. So once I turn it now, and this is what I'm gonna get. Mine is a long skirt. Excuse me. So this is what we've just made now. So some people can also call this skirt either a gathered skirt or a printed skirt or an easy skirt or an easy wear. So this is what I've made now. I'll wear it later and take a picture and send it to our platforms. But this is the easiest way to make a skirt. I will run through again for those that are just joining us. What we did at the beginning, I used 2 yards, and you can choose to use 2 yards. You can choose to use 1.5. You can choose to use 1 yard, depending on what you want to achieve, on how you want to have gathered on your skirts. Mine is quite full because I use 2 yards. And if you're on a big side, you could use 3 yards as well. You can use 4 yards. It makes the skirt fuller and also bigger, depending on what you want to achieve. So I'm using 2 yards. And what I did at the beginning, we just folded the top. We did the waist first. So in this skirt, you don't need measurements, unlike other skirts where you want to have your waist, you want to have your hip, and you want to have the length. On what we did today, you don't need all those measurements. You can do with any material that you have at home. The only thing that you might want to look into is, do I want it long or do I want it short, or what length do I want it to be? So for me, I'm using a very long material. So this is a long skirt. It will float to the floor, but you're going to see it when I take a picture later. So this is what I've got. I've got 2 yards, going back to what I was explaining earlier, and we started with the waist. So what we did was to fold the top of our material. So we fold it backwards. So we fold it to the wrong side of the material, which I did. This is the folding inside of the material. Then we actually sew the very edge of what we have folded, which is here. You could see my thread because we did hand sewing, so you could still see the thread. So we folded the top in, and we sewed down the very, very tip of what we have folded in, and we folded it to the back. So we sew round to the end. That's from the beginning to the end. So after that, we now fold our material into 2. So we folded our material into 2, that's together, and we started sewing from the very top of the material, but we left this few space, something from here to here, in order for us to put in our rope or our elastic. So we left a gap at the beginning. Then we sew down to the very end of the material. After we finish sewing it, we now use the safety pin to put, we use the safety pin to put the elastic through the top that we sew first. So after putting that through in, then you tie it to fit your waist. I use the elastic, and some people can use rope as well. So I use the elastic, and this is the finished product of what we have made. So this is my skirt. As I said, I will be wearing it. So for those that are joining this platform for the first time, this event is sponsored by the Arnold Clark Community Fund, and we are to run a workshop for 4 weeks. This is the 3rd week. We started with learning how to measure and how to make a simple top. And the following week, we made a top. And today we are making a skirt, which we just made. So this is the skirt I made. Just in less than 30 minutes, we made this skirt. And I can see, Esther's one as well. Please, can I spotlight Esther so you can see what Esther has made as well. Let me spotlight Esther. I don't know if you could see Esther as well. Wow, this is nice. So this is what Esther has made as well.
Yes.
Well done, Esther. This is beautiful. Wow. So you see, you can wear it anywhere, to church, to party. It's a lovely top. Well done, Esther. So I think with the help of your mom, you can do this on your own. You can sew for your
I
doll.
was helping her to do straight lines on the sewing because she's just learning, but she understood what we were doing.
Okay. So you will give her a task, ma, for her to make something by herself.
We have the second side of the material for me, so I'll get her to do the sewing at her leisure for my own. She's seen what I've done for hers.
Okay. Oh, nice one. Well done, ma. Thanks that you followed through the event. Well done. Thank you, Esther, for joining. We appreciate. So this is what we have made.
I just finished mine in 10 minutes. So
okay, yes, as I said, I've done this within 10 minutes before. Let me spotlight Auntie Victoria as well. Let me remove the spots. Okay, Auntie Victoria, let me pin you down then so everybody can see. Okay, this is hers as well. She did that within 10 minutes. As I said, this is very simple. You can wear this anywhere. I wish I could get the picture of what our contestants did as well. That's Miss Ebony Ambassador contestant. Auntie Victoria, please, if you could send me that picture so I could also show it to the screen.
Okay, yeah.
That's really lovely. I love the fabric that you used.
Yeah.
Auntie Victoria, if you could send me the picture of the contestant wearing their skirt, please, so I could show it. And we've really done well with time. This is why we're here today. So if you have any question in regards to making a simple skirt, please do. We'll be closing in 15 minutes time because we've really achieved why we are here today, is to make a simple skirt, which we have done. So I don't know if anybody, I know Ronke is doing hers as well. If you have finished yours, please, if you can show us your skirts, that will also be encouraging. For those that haven't done theirs, they might want to try how to make these simple skirts. As I said, this event is being recorded. We'll send the video across or also broadcast it on our platforms on Facebook. We are Ebony Ambassadors on Facebook. So you could watch it again and see how this is done. But truly, this can be done within 10 minutes. That's the reason why I said at the beginning, if you got all your needles threaded, you have your 4 or 5 needles with your thread, you can run through this within 10 minutes. I did it for a show on Ben Television. Within 10 minutes, we were able to make a skirt. And you can wear this with anything, any top, depending on the color you want to match it with. So definitely I'm gonna take a picture with mine to show what we have done today. So please, if you want to ask any question, please ask. I know there are some new people on this platform today. If you have any question, maybe you want to know when is the next workshop, what we are doing next, so that you can also get your material ready. We could do that now while I wait for a picture that I want to share. So any question, any contribution? Abi and fam, you're a bit quiet. You want to say hello to us? Alfie, any contribution? Hello.
We're learning. We're just admiring Esther, and I think Rona says she's gonna do the next one, so that's fine.
Okay. Oh, that's nice. So thank you for joining there. I appreciate. So for anyone that, okay, Josephine, I know you joined us late. Do you want to add anything? Is there any better way we could do this? You want to add to it?
Hi everyone. Sorry I can't put my video on now. How you all doing? Well done. Awesome. Okay. Yeah. Although I didn't join from the beginning, but awesome. I can see the work you've done just in there. Sorry, let me just excuse myself there. The work you've done just in 10 20 minutes. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, what I just want to say is that you see at the top of the skirt, depending on the space that you're giving, I don't know if it's 1.5 inches that you're giving for the elastic band. To secure it very well, you might need to top stitch the elastic so that it doesn't start twisting when you wear it. You understand what I mean? When you wear it, if it's not stitched down, it will start turning in the little space. So I think that can help to secure it very well. Yeah.
Thanks,
so another thing is that you mentioned about making an elastic skirt. You might not need to take a measurement. Sometimes you do need to take some measurement just as a guide, okay? Because that will help you to know the actual block that you're making for your skirt. If it's 2 yards or 1.5 yards, okay, so that will give you a guide. Okay, I'm making, this is my hip line. Most importantly, you measure the hip line and the length of your skirt, be it long skirt or short skirt. So if you have a guide, like, okay, if your hip is 30, 40, 50, that would determine how much of a yard and the allowance you want to put in there. Yeah, so awesome, well done.
Thank you very much. And thanks for the contribution. For the elastic you talked about, don't you think it depends on the size of the elastic as well? Because we have some tiny elastic, like mine is
the wide one.
Yeah. So for the tiny elastic, do you think they need to do that? Because that can still doesn't need whether it's folded or not folded. What do you think?
Yeah, for the small size of elastic is okay. You might not need to stitch it down because the space you could be creating to fix the elastic will be like 1/2 inch. But for a bigger elastic like this, when you wear it, it kind of twists inside.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay? Yeah, it kind of twists inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for that contribution. It's really
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. And thanks for joining. So point of correction in terms of your measurement. Yeah, you can take a measurement. Maybe I'm speaking from the aspect of a professional or anything goes. Like I could just pick a material and work with it. But truly for what she said, for beginners, it's good for you to know what you have that you're using and how it will also come out when you're done with it. So in measuring your waist, it could still give you the idea of the elastic that you even want to cut off from the bunch of elastic you've got or the rope that you want to use as well. And for the length measurement, you could want it to be just on your knee or above your knee. So that will help you to know where I should cut the material from. As I said, I just used the material as it is. So that's why it's this long, because I want it to flow. So that's the material that I use for my. So I don't know who else is done with theirs. Ronke, are you still, yeah? Are you done? Do you want to show us what you've done?
No, I haven't finished that because I don't have the elastic and I don't want to put the
rope.
Right, the rope in. I don't want to do that. I really want to put proper elastic. So
you want to give me the address?
I will send it to you when I finish properly.
Okay, that's fine. That means you're going to show us a picture of yours later, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
But you can still put the rope for the sake of the picture so that I will give you where the fitting will stand. It doesn't really matter. So when you are ready for the elastic, you can still put it in. But the rope, if you put it on your exact waist, then you now add extra 4 inches for right side so that you can tie it and slip it in. So it will give you that shape. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Auntie, you didn't send me the skirt picture again. I think
I've been looking for it. I only have the picture. And it would have been good for them to see
what they also made.
No, let me send last year's thing. Because
yes, that's also a hand sewing. So I just want everyone on the platform to see what we made with hand and how they also put it on comfortably. So what I'm trying to say is that it's not all about machine. You could do a lot with your hand.
Irene, don't you have a photograph of your contestants for this year?
Yeah, that's what we're looking for.
I think I've got one. I'll send it to you.
Okay, please do.
I've been
I
looking
have
for
a lot of pictures on my phone. That was why I was telling Auntie Victoria to look for it.
I'm looking. I've been looking.
Okay, the LE. What's the address?
Rachel, please mute yourself.
Oh, sorry.
No worries.
Okay.
So thank you for joining. Taiwo just joined. Thank you for joining. This is actually our third session for our Get Sewing Mental Resilience workshop.
Hi, Irene. Please,
Hello,
if people are not
I can hear you,
talking,
sorry.
can they mute?
Okay, Taiwo, please mute yourself.
Because this is good. This is being recorded. It's still going to go on YouTube.
You're
so if
right.
they're not talking, please.
Okay, thank you for muting yourself. As I was saying earlier, I want to thank everyone that just joined. This is actually our mental resilience workshop on sewing basic skirts. And this event is sponsored by Arnold Clark Community Fund. It's a 1-month project where we choose a program to engage people with for 4 weeks. Yeah, 4 weeks. So we started with learning how to measure and to cut a basic top. And we'll move to the following week, sewing the top. And today we're doing a basic skirt sewing. So after today's workshop, the last workshop on this project will be on how to sew hair bonnets. So to be on how to sew hair bonnets. So I want to thank everyone for coming. Before we call it a day, I just want to show a picture of what we have made in the past, hand sewing as well. This was skirts made by contestants during Miss Ebony Beauty and Creativity Contest. So I just want to show everyone what we made and how the girls actually rocked it as well when they did their dance to welcome the attendees of that event. I really wish we could get the group picture, but I could show this one as well.
The picture is really beautiful. Maybe it's on Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram too might have it. So let me quickly share the picture that I want to share before we call it a day. And our next workshop will be on how to sew hair bonnets. Okay.
Mommy, look, stretch change.
Has anyone finished theirs that they want to show us as well? This is the time to do that. And our next workshop is on Tuesday around 7 o'clock. And that's the last one. We'll be making a hair bonnet. And for us, we all know that now people wear hair bonnets as a sleeping, a cap, and also they wear it out for function. There are different ways that you could decorate the hair bonnet as well, that you can wear it once you're out. So we're going to look at or learn how to sew hair bonnets come next session, which is the last one for this project. So I look forward to seeing everyone that is here today. Please invite family and friends to be part of this event. Okay, yeah, I finally got one of the skirts. So I will share my screen shortly. So this is what I really want to share. I don't know if everybody's seeing my screen. That skirt as well, you might say I'm using almost the same material here, because that was the material I've got is the material remaining from the one that the contestants used to make their skirts. So this skirt was used for a dance. So in our competition, the contestants welcome the attendees with a dance. So that's the sketch that they used for the dance. I'm actually looking for a group picture where everybody. Okay, thank you, Auntie. And they made this with their hands. So this is hand sewing. So I'm trying to emphasize on how you can sew with your hand and wear it to anywhere you want to go to.
You may have to crop
Auntie,
some.
is this a video that you're sending? It's all turned
No,
aside.
no, it's picture. But I screenshot some of them, so you can check which one and crop it.
Okay. I will quickly share this one as well. Then we can now call it a day. Save. Okay. I've actually seen the picture. I think this is clear enough. Let me quickly share this one and sorry, not this. So sorry, this is the picture that I want to show everyone. So the sketch you're seeing here, all the contestants made it with their hands. So they hand sew the sketch in one of our workshops. That was facilitated by Dewey's Creation. So they made this sketch that they are wearing with hand sewing. I'm emphasizing on hand sewing. So they did not use machine. They used their hand to sew the sketch, and it was used for their welcoming dance at the event. So I just want to encourage everyone to pick up a skill. This is one of it. It could be sewing, it could be beading, it could be hair braiding. Any of the skill could help, and it helps you mentally. And at the end of it, you'll be pleased and happy that you've done something tangible and something that you're able to wear to a function or to an event. And yeah, we've really done very well today with time. Today is tag sketch sewing workshop, mental resilience. Yeah, I will end my sharing my screen. Yeah, I'll be calling it a day, but once again, I want to thank everyone that have joined. The lady that joined with Apple, I know you joined late, so please, can you tell your mom to put her number on the chat? The one that the name is showing Apple on the screen, or anyone that wants us to send them the video so that the kids that just joined can watch the video again. Please put your number on the chat so I can send you the video of this workshop. Thank you very much. Yeah, I've seen one. The name, please, the one number that ends with 705, the name, so I can save the number and send you this video. And for anyone that wants the video, I'm saying the Apple because I don't think I have our contact, but every other person, I've got their contact, and this will be on our platform on Facebook. It's called Ebony Ambassador. Okay, cool, I understand. So this will be on our platform on Facebook, Ebony Ambassadors. So that's how we'll call today's event to an end. We've made this lovely sketch. I made this sketch within 10-15 minutes, and few people on the platform too has made theirs, and others said they're going to watch theirs later when they are less busy, or maybe when they have watched the video again. So our next workshop is on learning how to sew hair bonnets. So we're doing that next week, Tuesday. And all you need is, Abby and Fam, please, can you just tell us what we need for the hair bonnet for the benefit of those that are here that I think are interested in joining as well.
Okay,
Yeah, Ronke,
so,
I will send you the video. Over to you, Abby and Fam, and she's the facilitator of our hair bonnet next week.
okay, so for next week, I would advise you to get 1 yard of African print, 1 yard of sateen that matches it. It's going to be your hair bonnet, so whatever color you want to use. Some elastic, thread, needle. If you have office pins, it'll be really good because the sateen does move around because it's very light material. A pair of scissors, obviously, and if you have like chalk, something to mark your African print. I think that's about it. I think I sent you it. I think that's what I sent you just now.
Okay.
I think that's what we would need. Safety pin, your African print. Yeah, that's about all we need.
Okay.
And a tape rule because we're gonna measure your head.
Okay. I think I'm still going to send the things she just mentioned to us on our platform, so you get to see what is needed, because I want everyone here to participate. I want to quickly show you a picture of the hair bonnet and what it's like. And I know it will be nice for you to make yours. And yeah, let me show that quickly so that we all prepared to come ready to be part of the workshop.
Yeah, and one of the things I would like to add to is Christmas is coming up. Everyone's looking for a gift to give someone. I only started doing these hair bonnet last year, December. And to be honest with you, I must admit, I've sold more than over 500.
Wow.
And I mean, I don't sell it. People selling them for $14.99. I do mine between £4 and £5. So it's something that you can easily give as a gift, and Christmas is coming up. And let's be honest, I'll be honest with you, I've had male people who bought it off me too, because the men are, plaiting their hair too. So it's a good way of making some extra cash if you're interested, or just making a gift for someone.
Okay.
The good thing about it is it's unique to you. You made it and you're proud of it. So
that's so true.
Yeah.
Okay. The last thing I would like to share is the hair bonnet itself, just to get us prepared for what we are coming for next week. And I want everyone here to invite your friend. This is the last one for this workshop. That's the hair bonnet I'm talking about. Sorry. Let me go back to it again. So this is the hair bonnet we're talking about. So we'll be able to make this hair bonnet next week. And you'll be surprised what you can do with your hand. As I said, you don't need your machine, even when your machine is not here. So these are all different types. So you need to find a colorful material like this and get a satin as well that you need to attach to it for the hair bonnet. So that's what we'll be doing next week, Tuesday at 7 o'clock. So I will end my sharing. Once again, I want to thank everyone for joining. This event is sponsored by Arnold Clark Community Fund. And the purpose is for us to keep people engaged during the pandemic, to be doing something creative, which we are doing today, and we've successfully made a skirt, and this is my skirt. Thank you all for joining, and I hope to see everyone next Tuesday around 7 p.m. So Abby and Fam, thank you for joining. Josephine, thank you for joining today. Omowumi, Afi, Roseline, Favored Child, Maureen, Ronke, Vicky, Alawoye, Priscilla, Yusuf, the lady that joined with Apple, thank you for joining. Yemi, Esther, thank you for joining. I appreciate you all, and bye for now.
Thank you, Irene. Bye.
Bye then.
Thank you, Irene. Bye.
Bye then.
Just one. Sister Irene.
Yes,
I'm doing the what's it called?
Stitch.
What do you call it?
Hemming stitch.
Hemming stitch to do the bottom because I cut it off a big material.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice one.
I've told her that I'm doing it a lot faster, but I'm getting her to hold it for me so that she can see what I'm doing.
Okay.
She's going to sew mine. I've sewed ours and mine has got to be as beautiful.
Oh, bless you. Thank you so much. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much
for us to catch them young. I know she's going to be a good fashion designer when she grows up, even if she's just making your own dresses and your mom's one.
Yeah, so she should do for me first.
Yeah, she will. I believe her.
Thank you so much for putting this together, Sister Vic. Bye. Thanks for inviting us. Thank you so much. See you next week.
See you. Bye.